Number 9. A psychologist records the number of digits t of pi that a sample of IB mathematics higher level candidates could recall. So 2 of them recall just 2 digits, 6 of them 3 digits, and so on, 3 of them 7 digits. Alright. Find an unbiased estimate of the population mean of D. So unbiased estimate is from the sample, but it is also applicable to the population, and that's why we call it unbiased estimate of population mean. So we can calculate that mean of the sample, which will be sigma D is a variable multiplied by each frequency divided by sigma frequency. So we have to multiply each D with its frequency and add. That's what sigma means. So we'll do that. 2 times 2, 3 times 6, 4 times 24, 5, 21, 6 and 11, 7 and 3 divided by sum of all the frequencies, which is 2 plus 6 plus 24 plus 21 plus 11 plus 3, and just find it out normally. So 4 plus 18 plus 96, 105, 66 and 21 over 8, 32, 53, 64, 67. So it comes out with 310 over 67, or 4.62686, rounded off to 4.63. This is the unbiased estimate. What about B? Let's answer B here. Find an unbiased estimate of the population again, variance of D. So let's find the normal variance first. So what will be the variance for the sample? It will be sigma D square F over sigma F minus whatever was the mean square. So it comes out to be, I have to square each one of them. Like this 2 will be squared and multiplied with 2. So 2 squared is 4, 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. Then 9 times 6, 54. 16 times 24, 384. Plus 25 times 21, 525. 36 times 11, 396. And 49 times 3, 147. Over sigma F, we already know 67, minus 4.63 square. I will use this number in place of 4.63 so that I'm as close as possible. Okay, so here I get S square equal to 1514 is the sum of all of them over 67 minus 4.63 square. Now this is the variance for the sample, but we want for population. For finding population, which is, we call it S square n minus 1, or sigma square, which will be this whole answer, whatever that is, multiply this by n over n minus 1. In this case, it is not n. In this case, it will be sigma f. So sigma f minus 1, and then 15, 14, 67 minus 4.63 square inside. This is the variance or estimated variance, which carefully we'll put in our calculator. First we have to write 67 67 minus 1 will be 66, and 1514 over 67 minus 4.63 square. Okay, so when I use my calculator, I'll get something. By the time I do this, I would request you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share with your friends, and I will make many more videos for you. In my last part, I gave a target of 40 subscribers and I got it. So I'm preparing this for you guys. Thank you very much. Once I used my calculator, I got 1.2071. Please do it yourself because I am preparing these solutions without a marking scheme. So there may be little here and there mistakes. You can correct them yourself, but be sure about the process. All right. This is the unbiased estimate of the population variance. Okay. The psychologist has read that in the original population, an average of 4.4 digits can be remembered. So that means sigma, not sigma, mu, the mean of the whole population is 4.4. Okay. And we got just this one, the variance for estimated variance for this population. So we'll write standard deviation as 1.2071. Okay. What else? It wants to perform a statistical test to see if IB mathematics higher level candidates can remember more digits than general population. More. Okay. See, null hypothesis is mu equal to 4.4 is the null hypothesis. State the alternate. Okay, normally we would write that mu is not equal to 4.4, but the purpose here is to test whether it is more digits than general population. So mu will be more than 4.4. This is what our alternate hypothesis will be. Now they said any perform a statistical test. That means they have left it to us. Since n is 67 in this, which is much more than 30, so we can use z-test. So this was number 1. Number 2, we can do z-test. So if this is the normal distribution, z-test will be that mean is given to us for the population, it is 4.4, but our sample mean came out to be 4.63. So we want to see if this area is the rejection area. Is it this far from the mean that we can reject it, right? So we should know the z-score for this. So z-score for our limit is 95%. They said 5%, I saw somewhere, 5% significance level. Can you see here? That means 95% confidence, and it is one-tailed confidence we have to do. That means this whole thing has to be 0.9. The p value for this will be 0.95. Probability that it is less than the given boundary, not 4.63, okay, is 0.95. So z score when p is equal to 0.95 is 1.96. You can use your calculators or the statistical tables. Whenever probability is 0.95, z-score is 1.96. So now we have to find for 4.63 if the z-score is less than or more than this. If it is more than, means more away from mean, we'll reject the hypothesis, but if it is on this side, we will accept it. So z, that let's say the variable is x, is less than 4.63 will be x bar, which is 4.63 in this case, minus mu over sigma. This will be for, we are comparing with the sample, right? So sigma over square root, and this is what we have to do the z-score test. Okay. So x bar is 4.63 minus mu is 4.4. Obviously it will be positive because 4.63 is more, it is on the right side. and mu we got square root 1.2071 divided by square root 67. Okay, and when I use my calculator I get 1.7135. Alright, our target was 1.96, it is 1.71, that means 4.63 is somewhere below it, 4.63. That means we cannot reject the null hypothesis. We'll say there is not enough evidence to reject null hypothesis. So null hypothesis is accepted. That on average people remember 4.4 digits after 4.4 digits of pi. The function fx is this, and it is, they have clearly said x is greater than 2 with all real numbers greater than 2. Okay, obviously because x minus 2 it can't be negative, because a natural log of a negative number is not possible. That's why they have given us this condition. Find an expression for the inverse of x. You are not required to state a domain. Okay, so fx, let's write fx as y equal to natural log 1 over x minus 2. Okay, so to find inverse we should change the places of y and x. So x equal to natural log 1 over y minus 2. And now we have to isolate this y. To isolate this ln must go. Whenever we remove ln from one side, the other side becomes e to the power. So 1 over y minus 2. Now y has to be a numerator. To make it subject, it has to be a numerator, so it goes up, but e to the power x will come down. Y goes up along with minus 2. So y minus 2 equal to 1 over e to the power x. So y is 1 over e to the power x plus 2 when minus 2 comes here, and this y is inverse. So f inverse x is equal to 1 over e to the power x plus 2. Done. Solve fx equal to f inverse x. Whenever you have such a situation that fx has to be equal to f inverse x, it will be actually the intersection of the inverse function and let's say, suppose this is, I'm drawing some random function. Okay, this is e to the power x, normal e to the power x, and this is ln x, which is inverse of ex, right? They are not intersecting. But suppose they were intersecting somehow by this adding or subtracting. Suppose it becomes, and so they are intersecting somewhere. At this point of intersection, x and y coordinate both are same. We can write x and x, and that's why in the original equation we substitute x in place of y as well, which will give us fx equal to f inverse x. So x equal to natural log 1 over x minus 2. So e to the power x equal to 1 over x minus 2. Right? Now we have to solve this. We know the graph of e to the power x is this. I have drawn it already. Let me have an idea. This is 1. 1 over x2, x minus 2, will have an asymptote at positive 2. So say this is 1, this is 2. There will be an asymptote here. And the graph of 1 over x minus 2 will be something like this. So I'm expecting one point of intersection only, right? Let's use a graphical calculator to do that. And here it is. As expected, this is the graph, and here we get where both of them are same. 2.12, 8.331, x value is 2.12. 2. So our solution for this particular equation is x equal to 2.12. Question 11. Juliana plans to invest money for 10 years in an account paying 3.5% interest compounded annually. Annually, that makes it easy. She expects an annual inflation of 2% per year throughout 10 years period. That means the real percentage interest will not be 3.5 anymore. It will be 3.5 minus 2, which is 1.5% effective every year. Juliana would like her investment to be worth 4,000, real value 4,000, okay, after 10 years basically, compared to current value. At the end of 10 years period, she is considering two options. These are the two options. Make one-time investment at the start of 10 years period. So invest something here, and after 10 years, you get some amount. All right. Option 2. Invest 1,000 at the start of the 10 years. So 1,000 at the start of the first year, and then X dollars into the account at the end of each year. So end of 1 year, it will be X. At the end of 2 years, X, and so on. And we will complete the starting of this. Is, if I say 0 years here, this is 1 year. So this will be after 10 years. All right. Option 1. For option 1, determine the minimum amount Juliana would need to invest. Give her answer to the nearest dollar. Okay. Since there is no other investment than the first one, we will simply use the compound interest formula in this. So A, compound interest formula is A equal to P1 plus R to the power N. So amount we want is 4,000. Principal, what we need to invest, 1 plus R in decimals will be 0.015, because 1.5% is the effective interest, so we'll convert it to decimal, and to the power 10 years we want. Okay, so divide both sides by the same thing. 1 plus 1 on 0, 1 will be 1.015 to the power 10. Okay, this one, so we'll divide here also. So this whole cancels with this, so we are left with only principal equal to 4,000 divided by 1.015 to the power 10. Let me use my calculator. By the time I do this, I would request you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share with your friends, and increase the community associated with this channel. I'll be motivated to make many more videos like this. It took more than a month to increase to the level I wanted for part 2. So please subscribe, ask others to subscribe. Thank you. So what I got here is 3,446.6689. If you want to round it off to 3 significant figures, it will be $3,450. Yeah, because they're saying what's the real value of 4,000, so it will be a little more than 4,000. It's okay. All right. B. Option 2, find the minimum value of X, minimum, okay, X that Juliana would need to invest each year. All right. So first, this 1,000 has nothing to do with these X's. So let's talk about this 1,000 only, because it is there for the tenure of whole 10 years. That means it will be just like the one we did in part A. But here we will find A because our P is 1,000 at the starting of the investment. So 1 plus 0.015 to the power 10. Full 10 years we'll get interest on this, and amount comes out to be 1160.56. This is what it will become after 10 years. So done. That means remaining, remember, he wants $4,000 at the end of 10 years, right? Out of 4,000, he will get 1160. So remaining are how many? 4,000 minus 1160.56, which will be $2839.44. This he needs to earn, Juliana needs to earn from these investment which she is putting in every year, right? So we will use the same formula for them but individually. So can I say that A1 will be the amount of this investment, this X she invests. So what will that be? X 1.015 to the power 9 this time, correct? A2 will be the amount of the X investment at the end of 2 years, right? So 1.015 to the power 80 because it is therefore 80 years more, and so on. Last one will be at the end of 9 years. Nobody invests at the time the person wants to withdraw money. So year 9 will be the last one, and that will be A9, which will be X 1.015 to the power just 1. Okay. So now what is the amount? Total amount will be A1 plus A2 plus A3 A9, which we want equal to $2839.44. This should be the sum of these investments. So let's write A1 first, which is this, which is X 1.015 to the power 9. Second is X 1.015 to the power 8 plus, and that will be, last one will be X 1.015 to the power 1, and this has to be equal to 2839.44. Let's take X common out of them, and I'm doing a trick here. What I'm doing, I'm writing the last one first because this is the smaller number. So 1.015 to the power 1, 1.015 to the power 2, and I will reach to this one because that will become a geometric sequence, and which I can add very easily with the help of this formula. What do we know? Sn for geometric sequence is A1 the first, or U, you can write U in place of A. The first term R to the power n minus 1 over R minus 1, and that's how I will find this. So this whole thing was equal to 2839.44. Okay, let's get some space here. So X, and I will use the formula I wrote just here. U1, what is the first term? 1.015. What is R? Every time it is multiplying by 1.015, so that becomes R as well. And how many terms are there total? 9 minus 1 over 1.015 minus 1 equal to 2839.44. So let's find what is it equal to. It becomes X, and if I put this whole thing in my calculator, I get a 9.702721 equal to 2839.44. So divide both sides by same number so that this cancels. 9.702721, and X value comes out to be 292.6436, and let's round it off to $291 every year. Besides this $1,000, she has to invest $291 at the end of every year, starting from the end of first year, and she will get about $4,000 at the end of 10 years. Okay, what is next? The sex of, let's call it gender. The gender of a cuttlefish is difficult to determine visually, so it is often found by weighing a cuttlefish. The weights of adult male cuttlefish is known to be, that means it is proven reality, distributed with a mean of 10 kg. So mean is 10, normally distributed, and how much is sigma? 0.5 kg. Okay, the weights of adult female cuttlefish is known to be distributed, or okay, heavier. So females are heavier in this case, and their standard deviation is 1 kg. Okay, a zoologist uses the null hypothesis that in absence of information, a cuttlefish is male. Okay, so this information is not available to that person. So if it is not there, he or she decides that the cuttlefish is male. If the weight is found to be above 11.5, okay, weight is above 11.5, they call it a female. Okay, that's it. Does that mean it is less than equal to 11.5? It will be a male. Find the probability of making type 1 error. So first of all, we should know what is type 1 error. Type 1 error is when null hypothesis is true, but we reject the null hypothesis. Question 13. An electrical circuit has two power sources. V1 is this real part of this. V2 has the real part of this. So let's interpret this one, what they mean to say. So V1 is real part of 2 e to power 3t I. Now, this can be converted into trigonometric form of this. So we can write as real part of 2, and let's put one more bracket, and this will be converted to cos 3t plus I sin 3t. Alright, so the real part of this is this one, which will be V1 equal to 2 cos 3t. Now V2 is real part of 5 e to power 3t plus 4 I. So let's convert it also. Real part of 5 cos 3t plus 4 plus I sin 3t plus 4. That means this one is the real part. So V2 comes out to be 5 cos 3t plus 4. Okay. The total voltage Vt is given by this. Find the expression for Vt in the form of, okay, this one, where A, B, C are real constants. So real means we can have decimals as well. Okay. So Vt equal to V1 plus V2. Now we got V1 as 2 cos 3t. Okay, and V2 is 5 cos 3t plus 4. Okay, we want one term with cos with a coefficient and an angle. Since we want this cos, let's write here. We want this format, cos bt plus c, and there is a in front, right? So if I open this up, it becomes a cos bt cos c minus a sin bt sin c, right? But we don't see any sign here. That means we'll have to expand this one. So what does this become? 2 cos 3t will remain 2 cos 3t. And if I expand this, let's keep the 5 out. And what is the expansion of cos a plus b? Like this, cos a plus b, we got this. Similarly, we'll expand this one, which will be cos 3t cos 4 minus sin 3t sin 4. And now we have sines here. So let's expand this. So 2 cos 3t remains what it is. 5 multiplied by cos 4 with, let me use my calculator for this. It will be negative 3.27 almost. Okay, it's approximate. Cos 3t is cos 3t. So this is the multiplication of cos 4 and 5, and set your calculators to radians for this. Now we have to multiply sine 4 with 5. Sine 4 with 5 gives us negative 3.78. But since we have a negative here, it will become positive 3.78, and then we have sine 3t as sine 3t. I hope you understand. So now this comes out to be 2 minus 3.2, because both of them have cos 3t. So we can write negative 1.27 cos 3t. Both of them become this. This is Vt we are working on. And plus 3.78 sine 3t. Now we can compare with this. Cos bt, right? Sin bt. That means, according to comparing this with this one, negative 1.27 is what is it? A cos c. And 3.78 positive is A sin c that we want, right? Now to find A, there is a shortcut. I'm straight away giving you the answer. Is the square root of this, square this and add them. Minus 1.27 square plus 3.78 square. This is how we find A. Why? Because if I square this, it will become A square cos square. See, it will become A square sin square, and cos square plus sin square is 1. That's why this comes out to as a solution for this. So straight away I did this. The answer I'm getting for this is 3.99, almost 4. Maybe it is 4. I have rounded off some figures. This is not based on the mark scheme. Please, if your answer says 4 in marking scheme, don't get scared. Okay, it will be done. So A is 3.99. Okay, what about C? We need C as well. Yeah, so C is always, okay, let me show you why this I'm doing. If I divide, this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2, and if I divide equation number 2 by equation number 1, why 2 first? Because I want sign on top. 3.78 over negative 1.27 is A sin C over A cos C. So can you see, A and A cancel, sine over cos is tan, and that's what I was going to write here. Tan C will be equal to negative 3.78 over 1.27, and which will give us C equal to tan inverse negative 3.78 over 1.27. Have they given any range for C? Nope. So we can straight away use our calculator for this. And it comes out to be negative 1.248256. Okay, so we can round it off to negative 1.25. Now combine everything and we get our answer. Our format had to be this: Vt equal to A cos BT plus C. So we can write here A is, we got A earlier, 3.99 cos BT, B is 3 T plus C, C we got minus 1.25, so we'll get minus 1.25. So we got our all values. A equal to 3.99, B is 3 and C is negative 1.25. This is the answer of A part. Hence, write down the maximum voltage in a circuit. Maximum voltage is always the amplitude, right? And 3.99 is the maximum. That is the amplitude, right? Negative of this will be minimum. Maximum voltage they're asking in the circuit is 3.99 volts. Moving on to the question number 14. The shape of a vase is formed by rotating a curve about the y-axis. Okay, about y-axis. The vase is 10 centimeter high. Okay, so height 0 to 10, they've given this. The internal radii are given and measure in 2 centimeter intervals. Very good. If the intervals are equal, we don't have to worry. All right, so let's try to visualize this. So we have a height of 10. So let's say this is 0. Then this is 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. At height 0, the base, the radius is 4. Suppose this is 4. Then it becomes 6. Then 8. Then 7. 3 and 5. So this is the shape we get. It means if we rotate this, the vase will look like this. Something like this, okay? Now, we have to find its volume, and the formula for finding the volume of a vase with trapezoidal rule is this. It is equal to whatever is the difference between two consecutive sections divided by 2, first area plus last area, 2 times second plus third plus till L minus 2, last one before L minus 1. That is how we find the volume. So let's find here. The h, the height of the section is 2. So 2 divided by 2. First area will be with this radius, which was 4. So it will be pi r square, which is 4 square. Yeah, that's the radius. Then the last one is, again, last one is 5. So pi 5 square. Okay, divided by, not divided, added. 2 times second area, we'll start with this 6. So pi 6 square plus pi 8 square plus pi 7 square plus pi 3 square, and close it. Because 5 and 4 has been, first and last have been used, so we don't put them. All of them have pi, so we can take pi out. 2 and 2 cancel, keep pi out. What are we left with? 16 plus 25 plus 36 times 2, 72, plus 64 times 2, 128, 49 plus times 2 is 98, and then we have 9 times 2, 18. That's it. And are they saying in terms of pi? Okay, they're not asking, so we'll give answer in decimal later. So pi, and if we add this, it'll be how much? 41, 113, 241, 339 plus 18, 357. Pi is the answer, and we can express this in decimal as 1121.548. That will round out to three significant figures, 1120. And have they given? Yes, centimeter cube. This is the volume of this particular vase. Okay, question number 15. The equation of line y equal to mx plus c can be expressed in vector form. This, we know this, okay. Find the vectors a and b in terms of m and or c. Okay, so let's write them side by side. Can I write like this? The one which is r equal to a plus lambda b. R is the general point on the vector, right, on the line. So starting point A is some starting point whose position vector is x1, y1, right? Then we have lambda, and B is the direction vector. So if this is the line, suppose we draw it here and this is the line, right? So suppose this is the point x1, y1 that we took earlier. So there is some run and there is some rise, right? So m is rise over run. So if I assume that run is 1 unit, rise will be m times that unit. Yes or no? So I can write that m is the rise and 1 is the run. And that becomes the vector in this direction, m, 1 in the direction x direction and m in y direction. So 1 m, that is the direction vector, right? Now we know the equation y equal to mx plus c. This is the position vector of the starting point. Let's say that starting point is x1, y1, this one, x1, y1. So we can write y1 equal to mx1 plus c, correct? So we can rewrite this equation as xy equal to x1 remains x1, but y1 becomes also in terms of x1 plus lambda 1 m, right? Now, if we compare with this, we can say that they're saying vectors a and b we need. So vector a is this one, yeah? So a becomes x1 m x1 plus c. Now think this way, if there is a vector, this one, it has certain run and certain rise. There is some x direction vector, there is a y direction vector. Suppose I half it, the y1, and half this one, it still remains in same direction. The equation will also remain same, only the magnitude has been halved. That means a longer vector can be made a shorter vector by dividing both x and y components of the vector by the same number. So I will divide this by x1 and divide this also by x1. So what do we get? 1, and here it will be m plus c over x1, where x1 is certain x coordinate of any starting point. This is a vector in terms of m and c. Now b, and b we already know here, we have written here, b is 1m. That's it. What about the next one? The matrix M is defined by this one. Find the determinant of M. So determinant of M will be 6 times 2 minus 4 times 3, which is 12 minus 12 equal to 0. Okay, that's the determinant of matrix M. The line y equal to mx plus c, where m is not negative 2, okay, is transformed into a new line using the transformation, that one, okay, the one they gave us, 6 4 3 2. Okay, show that the equation of the resulting vector does not depend on M or C. Okay, so x, y is any point and it is transformed, the original point is transformed through this 4, 2, and original one I'm taking again as x1 and mx1 plus c. So if I multiply this and this, what will I get? 6 multiplied by x1 gives us 6x1. 3 multiplied by this will be plus 3m x1 plus 3c. 4 times x1 and what about this? 2 times mx1 plus 2c. So this is the new vector. So what can we do? We can divide both of them by same expression. Let me divide this by x1, rather 2x1. 2x1 plus mx1 plus c. Divide this also by 2x1 plus mx1 plus c. Just like we did earlier, we divided the previous one by x1. Here I'm dividing by the whole thing. So if you see here, if I divide by the same expression, both of them, this will be giving me 3 and this will be giving me 2. So that proves that they ask us what? Show that the equation of the resulting line does not depend on M or C. So we have a fixed number, fixed vector, but M and C is not important because the positions will change at different, so it will not be affected by M or C. Their ratio will remain, the coordinate ratio will remain 3 and 2. Moving on to the next one. The position vector of a particle relative to fixed point O at time t is given by this. That means it's not in a straight line, it is moving here and there with time being changing. Alright, find the velocity vector for P. So, velocity vector can be found out by differentiating the x component and y component of the position vector, right? Basically, in other words, sine t square and differentiate this, and cos t square, differentiate this. This will be the velocity vector. So sine t square will be differentiated as positive cos t square multiplied by the differentiation of the angle, which is 2t. Yeah. Then similarly here it will be minus sine t square and multiplied by the differentiation of the angle. In simplest form, we can write that the velocity vector is 2t cos t square and minus 2t sine t square. Okay. B. Show that the acceleration vector p is never parallel to the position vector. So we should know that two vectors are parallel if one is a multiple of the other, right? This is a vector, this is another vector, they are parallel. So one of them, the bigger one, will be a multiple of the smaller one, that multiple being more than 1, or smaller one will be a multiple of bigger one, the multiple being less than 1. Okay, so we have to show that they are not multiples, in other words. Okay, so acceleration vector will be, let me write here, 2t cos t square differentiation and minus 2t sine t square differentiation. This will be the vector, acceleration vector. Okay, and now we can use product rules to do this. A vector will be differentiation of 2t is just 2 and cos t square is unchanged. Then plus 2t remains 2t, but cos t square will be differentiated, and we differentiated cos t square earlier, which is this one. So minus 2t sine t square. Okay, and now this one also, the differentiation of minus 2t will be negative 2 sine t square, and then we have plus, okay, and minus 2t will remain minus 2t, and differentiation of sine t square, we did it here, sine t square is here, we got 2t cos t square. Let's simplify this. It will be 2 cos t square. Mind it, it is not cos square, okay, the angle is being squared. T square minus 4t square sine t square. And what about the y component? Minus 2 sine t square minus 4t square cos t square. Now, if they are parallel, it has to be a multiple of the position vector. That's what they're saying. The acceleration vector is never parallel to position vector p. So n sine t square cos t square. We can clearly see that it can never be a multiple of this. This is a expression which has cos as well as sine. It has a variable variable also t, which will make the whole vector in different directions, so it can never be parallel. If one of them is parallel, the other one will not be. This is what we can explain, that n is not a real number when it does not exist, when we assume that they are parallel. But in case you want, because this is worth 5 marks, if you see here, it is worth 5 marks. If you want to go ahead and do, you can make equation out of this. So 2 cos t square minus 4t square, I'm comparing x component, okay, sine t square equal to n sine t square. I am assuming that it is a multiple. So if I multiply this by let's say sine over cos, right? So let's make it cos t square, cos t square and cos t square. This cancels. What does this get us? 2, just 2 minus 4t square, and sine over cos is tan, equal to n tan t square. Let's bring this one to the right side. So 2 equal to n plus 4t square tan t square. So tan t square will be equal to 2 divided by n plus 4t square. And now we can give n a number, some certain number, and see if what value of t do I get, right? Suppose I tried it, and the t came out to be 0.911 for this particular 0.911 for this t. When I substituted this with the same n I assumed here, I assumed n equal to 1, and t here, it did not work for the y component. So additionally, you can do this step to show that there is no possibility of getting an answer out of this. This is how we can show that it's not a multiple, they are not parallel. Let's move on to the question number 17, which is the last question of this exam. The cross section of a beach is modeled by there's y equal to 0.002x square, okay, where y is the height of the beach in meters at horizontal distance x meters, okay. At t equal to 0, water is at 0, 0. So this point here is 0, 0. The height of the water rises at rate of 0.2 meters per hour. In this direction, dy over dt, because it's rising, so it will be plus 0.2 meters per hour. Though it is not possible because here the radius is of, if we call it a radius, is very small, and here it is very big. Increasing at same rate is very difficult, but they are being able to increase it at this rate, then we'll accept it, okay. So throughout, this is the rate. When w has an x coordinate equal to 1, suppose here, okay, let's say this is 1, find the horizontal component of the velocity of w. So the rate at which the curve is increasing, that is the question they're asking, right? So we have to find its x component. So they're asking us dx over dt, which is the horizontal component of velocity. So to find a rate of this change in the curve, we will find dy over dx by differentiating this, which is 2 comes in front, 0.02x, and that is 0.04x, okay. But they're asking dx over dt, there is no dt, there's no time here in this graph. So what do? We divide the numerator as well as denominator by dt. So dy over dt has been given to us as 0.02 here. So 0.02 is dy over dt, and dx over dt we have to find out when x coordinate is equal to 1. That means this x will be equal to 1. So 0.04 times 1. Now we can cross multiply to find dx over dt, which is our requirement. It will go up and 0.04 will come down. So 0.02 over 0.04 is equal to dx over dt, and we can cancel this, will be equal to 0.5 meters per hour. Same unit we have to write because it is meters per hour. This will also be meters per hour. So A part is done. What about B part? A snail is modeled as a single point at t equal to 0. Its position is 1. That means when water started rising, it was already at w, 1, 0, 0, 2. Okay, the snail travels away from the incoming water. As the water increasing, the snail goes in the opposite direction, which is this, right? Okay, to save itself from the water. Poor chap. Now, it goes away from incoming at a speed of 1 meters per hour. 1 meters per hour in the direction along the curve. That means along this curve, okay? So it is not a straight line. We can see it's a curve. It's not a straight line, so we'll have to do something here. Cross section. The following diagram shows it. Okay. Find the time taken for the snail to reach point 10.2. Suppose this is 10.2. So the x coordinate has increased from 1 to, it was 0.02. 1 to 10, right? But the problem is the speed of the snail has been given along this curve. So we can't take x component and y component out of a curved. If it was a straight line, if it was a straight path, then it would be okay. But for curved, we can't. So that means we will have to find the length of this curve from 0 to 1, and there will be distance, not displacement, because it is curved line. So for that, we have a formula that when x is 1 to 10, we have to find the length of the curve, and this is the formula 1 plus dy over dx square with respect to dx. So what does it become? 1 to 10. 1 plus dy over dx is 0.04 x square dx. Okay. Now it has a square root and a square inside. It will be difficult to integrate this, so better we use our calculator to find its value straight away, this definite integral. Okay, and here it is. I have already done this. You can see here from 1 to 10, and I have put this thing, and answer is 9.26. The distance of travel of snail from this one to this one is equal to 9.26 meters. The speed of the snail is 1 meter per hour. So the time taken by snail is equal to 9.26 hours, because 1 meter per hour gives it 9.26 hours. So that is the time it takes. Hence, show that the snail reaches the point 10.2 before the water does. So what they mean is that water will rise, but it should take more than 9.26 hours to reach there, so that snail is safe. And we can find it easily because they already said in their question that it is rising at 0.2 meters per hour. So the time taken by water to reach 2 meters high. Why? Because it is 10.2. That means y component has increased by 2, and that is what we will use. So distance divided by the speed at which it is going is 0.2 meters per hour, which is 10 hours. Okay, since snail took lesser time than water to reach 10.2, it is safe. And that concludes the solution video for this AIHL paper 1. I hope you liked it. Please like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.